Welcome, Radiant Soul. I am so happy that you're here today. Settle in, whether you're seated or lying down, and let the body find its way back to comfortable. Maybe you soften your hands. Maybe you unclench your jaw and notice that you are holding something there. That's already the work beginning. This is a voice sovereignty activation for the new moon in Taurus. It's not a passive meditation. It is not something that happens to you while you float somewhere else. This is truly an activation, a living transmission of Reiki energy, and it begins the moment you press play. Now, as I said, we are working with a portal that the sky has opened around the new moon in Taurus. This is the sign of the body, the sign of inherent worth, the sign that rules the throat. And in this window, Mercury, the planet of voice, of mind, of truth, is seating right alongside the moon. The mind and body want to speak the same language right now. What does your worth sound like when you stop swallowing it? This is the question that this activation is built around. You don't have to have an answer yet. That's what we're here to find. If you are open to receiving the Reiki energy, the light codes, whatever is ready for you in this transmission, please say yes in your mind's eye now. Beautiful. Now remember, you will receive exactly what your soul is ready for within this activation. And every time you return, it will meet you in a new layer. Let's begin. Now, before we open anything, we call ourselves home. So wherever your attention has been scattered, work, worry, other people's needs, the list that never empties, we are calling all of that energy back now. Not forcefully, just like calling a child inside at dusk, gently, clearly. Breathe in through the nose. And now open your mouth and let it go. Not a controlled exhale, as a sigh. Again, breathe in. And a soft, open sigh out. Good. One more time. Breathe in. And let your jaw go slack. Let your tongue drop from the roof of your mouth. And let the sound be whatever it needs to be. Now that sigh, that open, unshaped exhale, is the body's original clearing mechanism. It doesn't need a technique. It already knows how to release. And we're going to let the throat remember that today. I am beginning to flow Reiki into your field now, into the space around your body, the space above your head, and gently beginning to move toward the throat. As you rest here, I want to invite you to do one thing. For the duration of this activation, release the part of you that monitors how you're doing it. You don't need to feel anything specific. You don't need to respond correctly. You don't need to be a good mediator or a spiritually advanced receiver. You just need to be here. The Reiki will do the rest. I want to call in the divine support that is aligned with this work. So with reverence and permission, and in whatever way serves your highest good, we invite the presence of Archangel Raphael, healer of the ancient wounds, the one who knows where the body stored what the voice was never allowed to say. Raphael, we ask for your emerald light to move through the throat field now, with the tenderness of a healer who knows exactly what it cost to learn that silence was safer than truth. Be here with us. We invite the presence of Archangel Gabriel, herald of divine truth, the voice that speaks what is real, without apology, without rehearsal, without waiting to be given permission. Gabriel, activate the sovereign voice within each soul receiving this. The voice that was never afraid, the voice that existed before the world taught it to shrink. Be here with us. And we invite, always, the Oversoul of Area, the living field of worth that does not negotiate, the frequency that knows value is not created through labor alone. It flows through resonance, through truth, through the willingness to let yourself be heard. Area, let your current move through this transmission like a golden thread woven through every breath, every sound, and every sacred pause. We receive your support now. Let your awareness travel gently to your throat. Not a forced focus here, just attention. The way you might notice a room when you walk in and something feels different. The throat sits at the bridge. Below it, the heart, what you feel. Above it, the mind, what you think. And the throat is supposed to be the place where those two things meet in sound, where feeling becomes language and where knowing becomes speech. But for many of us, the throat learned something else. Maybe it learned that speaking up made things worse. Maybe it learned that your voice was too much, too emotional, too direct, too honest, too loud for the room. Maybe it learned to hold, to swallow, to begin a sentence and then qualify it so thoroughly that by the end there was nothing left to disagree with. And nothing true left either. Maybe it learned that your worth had to be delivered in a tone that made other people comfortable. I am sending Reiki deeply into the throat center now. Visualize it as cerulean light, like the sky before noon, clear and vast and completely without ceiling. This light is not here to fix you. You're not broken. This light is here to remember with you, to witness the places where you learned that your voice was conditional, and to begin gently, completely, to release that. I want to call in the violet flame now, the sacred fire of transmutation, Zadkiel's gift. The frequency that doesn't destroy but transforms. Violet flame, move through the throat field now. Release every word that was swallowed to keep the peace. Release every "I'm fine" that wasn't. Release the habit of shrinking the truth to a size that others could receive without discomfort. Release the apologies given in advance. The "I know this might sound strange, but," the "you're probably right, but," the "never mind." And now, I want to invite any energetic cords that are ready to release to gently dissolve. Any relationship, past or present, where you learned that your voice was unwanted. Any moment that taught you, you speak and things break. You speak and you're too much. You speak and no one changes anyway. These are not your soul's truth. These are the agreements of a younger self who needed to survive. And we thank them for their wisdom. And we release those agreements now. These served their purpose. They kept you safe when safety required silence. But the portal has shifted, and your voice, your actual, sovereign, unhurried voice, is allowed to exist without a cost attached to it. Breathe into the throat now. Let the breath move through the front of the neck and then down into the chest. Feel Raphael's emerald light still working, moving through the deeper layers, the places that held the oldest lessons. And now, let's give the throat something new to remember. I want to offer you something that might feel unfamiliar. And I want to say that before we begin, there is no right way to do this. There is no note you're supposed to hit, no performance expected here. What we're doing is using sound the way the body was always built to use it, as a tuning fork. You cannot think your way into embodied worth, but you can sound your way into it. And in this new moon window, with Mercury conjunct the moon in Taurus, the throat is particularly receptive. The codes we're moving here are not intellectual, they are vibrational. They land in the cells. And so let's begin. The first sound is a hum. Lips together gently. Not a song, not a note, just the sound that lives in the chest before any words. This is worth before language. This is the frequency that exists beneath the thing you say. When you're ready, begin to hum. Even if it's quiet, even if it trembles, let it be what it is. and let it fade when it's ready. Feel where you felt that. The chest, the throat, perhaps even the top of your head. That resonance, that's not a technique. That's you. That's the field of you responding to the truth of your own sound. The second sound is ah. Open your mouth, soft jaw. The ah is the heart to throat bridge. It's the sound of the heart finding voice. It doesn't need to be loud. It just needs to be open. And when you're ready, ah. Let it go when it's complete. If that felt messy, good. The places that learn to hold sometimes release as trembling or catching or a sound that surprises you. That's not failure, that's the throat remembering. The third sound is E. This is a higher resonance, the clearing and activating tone. This is the sound of truth that has sharpened itself, that is no longer asking for permission. It's not a shout, it's a note that knows exactly where it belongs. So when you're ready, E. And release. Let the silence receive what those sounds have opened. The Reiki is landing here. The codes are settling into the throat, into the walls of the neck, into the cellular memory of what is allowed. Raphael is present. Gabriel is present. And the Oversoul of Araya is moving through every layer of this. In this portal window, the moon is new. New moons are invisible. Dark sky, a seed that has not yet broken ground. And that's where we are right now. We're not declaring a completed thing. We're announcing a result. We are planting. And in this particular new moon, Mercury is seating alongside that moon in Taurus, which means for the first time in this cycle, the mind and body are ready to say the same thing. The gap between what you know and what you're willing to speak is narrower than it's been. I want to offer a single question now. You don't need to find the answer in words. You just need to let it be asked. What is the worth you've been waiting to say out loud? Don't reach for it, just let it rise. Whatever came, a feeling, a specific phrase, a name, a number, a direction, or even nothing visible at all, it was the right response. Now I want to offer some affirmations. These are not meant to be repeated mechanically. I want you to feel each one first in the body, in the throat specifically, before you let it land. Let the sounds of these words move through you like the Reiki. My voice is not a performance of worth. It is worth. I do not earn the right to speak. I was born with it. What flows through me has value before it's approved. I am allowed to be heard. My truth does not need to be palatable to be real. I speak, and the field shifts. Good. Now I want to invite you into one final movement of this activation. I want you to imagine a version of you, not a future self far away in some imagined life, but a self that is one breath ahead, the version of you who has simply stopped negotiating with their own voice. They're not louder. They are not performing confidence. They're not trying to be seen. They are just honest. They say the price without apologizing. They name the boundary without softening it to nothing. They speak the truth and then stay present while the room adjusts to them. See this version of you. Notice the quality of their stillness. Notice what they do not do. They do not qualify. They do not watch your face to see if their worth is being received correctly. They have already decided. When you're ready, step forward. Let their posture become your posture. Let their steadiness settle into the throat. Let the certainty they carry move like golden light down through the jaw, through the neck, and into the chest. They are not separate from you. They are the you that this new moon is seeding. Now, we are not going to let this just float, because worth that lives only in the throat still needs roots. So I want to draw a thread of golden light now from your throat down through the heart, through the solar plexus, the sacral, through the root, down through the soles of the feet and into the earth. Your voice is not a head thing. It's not a mental skill you perfect. It is the whole body expressing truth outward. Feel that continuity now. Throat to root, sound to ground. I am sending grounding Reiki into the lower chakras now, stabilizing, sealing, settling what has shifted here. The Elohim of divine order are weaving crystalline light through this field, anchoring these codes into this new moon window, into the cycle that begins here. And now we give thanks to Archangel Raphael, who met every place in the throat that learned to hold and offered healing that has no price tag. To Archangel Gabriel, who activated the sovereign voice that was never afraid and reminded you it is still there, still yours. To the Oversoul of Araya, for being the field from which this entire transmission moved, the current of worth that circulates freely, the reminder that receiving is not selfish, it's how the field stays alive. And to you, for being here, for letting the throat open, for saying yes to an activation that asks you to actually use your voice. That took something. I am sending final grounding Reiki now, deep into the roots, into the soles of the feet, all the way down into the earth's core. You are here. You are in the body. You are grounded and complete. Now gently wiggle your fingers, wiggle your toes, roll your shoulders back. Take a full breath in and let it out with an open mouth and one final sigh. And when you're ready, let your eyes drift open. Welcome back, Radiant Soul. This activation will continue to work in your field for the remainder of this new moon window and beyond. And every time you return to it, the energies here will meet you in a new layer. And that toning sequence specifically, and especially, let yourself return to that. Let it be a practice. Let yourself get louder. And if something opened in you today, I would love to know. Leave a word in the comments, just one if that's all you have. Sometimes that's the first act of the sovereign voice, naming what you felt. And if you're ready to go deeper into this work, to move the Aurea frequency from concept into your actual lived experience, Return to Flow is open. You can find it at manifestdifferently.com/flow or in a link in the description below. Thank you for being here, Radiant Soul. Have a beautiful new moon. We'll see you next time.